What's rockin'? Yo! Welcome back to another really awesome episode of Galactic Guardians. We have two magical people here on this podcast with us. You know, you're rocking with your girl, Meg. We've got Tsunami Diamond over here. And we've got our soul sister, Luna Starshine.
Hey.
We have some fun, interesting, and important topics we want to share with you all today. So here we go.
Wonderful to have you with us today, Luna.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Luna Starshine. I consider myself to be a Galactic ambassador as well, and I'm a channel specifically working with dragons and the Galactic Federation. And over the past weekend, I went to Scottsdale to go to Dr. Greer's CE5 contact event. So I was going to share some information that was shared with me from that event. We were just going to talk about some different timelines that could happen and really how to shift into reclaiming your power over those timelines.
That's awesome. I'm stoked to hear what wisdom you're going to share with us, Luna. I feel it's going to be very powerful and some good wisdom for us to observe, tap into, and then hold space for as well.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So if you have any questions, I'll just kind of start just sharing a little bit what I was learned, and feel free to ask questions or interject. So basically, one of the main things that was disclosed with the disclosure event with all Dr. Greer's work is really tapping into the difference between extraterrestrials and aliens. So what are extraterrestrials? These are higher dimensional beings. These are love-based beings. These are higher frequency beings that we can create contact with when we're in a high vibrational state. So that's what he teaches us, is to go out into the land, go out into the earth, and practice a puja, practice a spiritual discipline, meditation, to then raise your frequency to be able to have contact. And contact is essential for our planet during this time, because we see on the earth, there's, just a lot of things that are out of balance. There's a lot of pollution. There's still war. There's still weapons on the planet that are harmful. And if they were to be used, they would harm the rest of the galaxy, the rest of the universe. So it's important for us to ensure that doesn't happen, because we're galactic guardians. So those are ETs. These are the higher dimensional beings that we want to be working on with, and we want to be asking for their help, co-creating with, and really downloading new technologies that are going to help us bring free energy and these kind of things onto the planet. So then we have aliens, and aliens are not really extraterrestrials. These are the beings that are programmed by the CIA into our media, into our news. These are synthetic beings that are actually being created by private corporations. They are like almost like an AI or robotic type being. They actually have circuitry inside of them. And there are people that have actually seen these beings and worked for military where these beings have existed. And there's also a number of fake UFOs. UFOs that are man-made. All this stuff is man-made. These aliens are man-made. And there's the potential for the false flag event, which would try to convince the majority of the population that these beings are coming to attack us. And this is why we need to have World War III. So this is just something to be aware of in our reality, and know that the media likes to, it's like Hollywood, right? It's like, let's create these mass stories and let's pay attention to the themes in Hollywood and the themes in the way aliens are depicted and shared with us as these beings that could come and potentially destroy the human race. So we need to have weapons in case that happens. And this is what we really need to realize is totally false and totally not real. Extraterrestrials have our best interests. These are loving beings. These are aspects of ourselves future aspects of ourselves, past aspects of ourselves that are beyond enlightened, that are living in higher dimensional realities than we can fully grasp at this time, but we're beginning to grasp and understand that these are just aspects of us. And so I just want to bring that message in and make people aware of, again, more false flag events that could come out through our media that cause mass manipulation, as we already just saw over the past couple of years, the massive manipulation, getting people to do what they tell you to out of fear by convincing you there's something to be afraid of and that there's not anything to be afraid of. That's not true.
Yeah. Wonderful preface to this episode. It's such an important topic because it is pretty much kind of the next step of this massive plan that's been getting orchestrated for essentially, you could say world domination type, one world order stuff. Obviously,
Right.
What's been going on the last years has been one phase of that, but this, from Stephen Greer and many others that are connected to secret space programs or that decided to step out of government agencies and actually speak up, are actually coming out and saying what the next initiative is. And that has to do with exactly what you just brought up. And it's like with what you said with Hollywood and what aliens are depicted to our society of one race of beings, primarily grays, that are either going to come and abduct you or that are going to come and stage this entire domination and destroy the planet, right? Such as the movie Independence Day or so many others, where opposed to what the reality is, where, just as you said, there's all of these different extraterrestrial races of galactic beings that have existed for millions and billions of years throughout the star systems that have already went through these ascension processes on their own planets. And they are like our elders, our ancestors that are also here to help assist us in this massive change that we're going through right now. So it's very exciting times, but a true disclosure in the right way is very imperative right now. Like you said, these fake reverse engineered UFOs. I've even heard they have holographic technologies to be able to project things into the sky.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this is where, another thing that was mentioned was the second coming of Christ being a potential thing that the CIA decides to put out, is that Christ has returned. And it's funny because this is true, because we know Christ consciousness has returned, and Christ isn't one individual. It's an aspect of our consciousness, our awareness. But there's a potential that they're going to try to tell people that there's a specific man that is Christ. And I've heard all kinds of different things about this being a holographic thing. And I was thinking about it because back in 2012, they did a hologram of Coachella of Tupac, right? But they haven't done anything like that since, that I've heard of. And so we know that there's this technology, and it's like, how do we know when they're using it and when they're not? How do we know if these politicians are hologram? The queen might have been dead years ago and they're just hologramming her, we don't know, because the media is so easily manipulated. I mean, there are so many amazing computer programs and techniques and tools that the media can use to totally just baffle people, and you not even realize that you're being totally brainwashed and lied to.
And I do strongly believe full-heartedly that is happening on a vast level. And we're stepping into those timelines right now of observing and also seeing what is coming forward that needs to be dismantled. And for my flow of being, I've had many of my teachers and mentors share with me very wise wisdom that there are agendas, lower vibrational agendas, or you can call them dark agendas, or we can call them different systems that are playing with very advanced technology and are creating such beings, but they do look just like a normal human being. I mean, we've come into times that is very much so available where people or a consciousness can step into a new human form, and shape shift as well. This has just been placed upon our books and wisdom that this is something in creation that is fully capable of happening. And so we're just really just sharing a lot of important wisdom for people to observe, to know that this is happening, and to know that there are agendas that are playing tricks on humanity, because right now is our bridging moment where we have the chance to elevate to this higher level of earth consciousness, of human consciousness, to ascend in being the ultimate creator that you are. But that means the dismantling and not putting so much energy towards the lower agendas, which has been feeding our egoic mind for eons and hundreds of thousands of lifetimes. And that system is also connected to all of the other systems, such as different governmental systems and school systems and work systems. And those systems right now are also being shown to you in a dismantling way. They're being taken down. They're coming out with different truths. People have been lying, and more stuff is being fed to us for us to say, wait, one moment. Does this feel good? Does this sound right? And we as a collective now have the chance to bridge away from that lower frequency. Do we want these leaders to be our leaders, or do we want to produce new leaders, new movement of evolving? Do we want to stay stuck in this like stuck trap, like good, trying to get out type of frequency? Or do we want to move forward to this evolvement of being superhuman, being super cautious, allowing yourselves to merge with higher level of intelligence? And they're only higher level of intelligence because they've already created and played the games that we're playing, and they've ascended to higher levels. And so it's all about each human, each being a soul. We are a soul being just in a human form. And it's important for us to level up, for us to get to these higher levels of consciousness, because when we do, and we open up that field, when we open up the veil, we start producing new energy, new higher energy that brings you to the ultimate you. And when you do that, then you get to start communicating with other beings of love and light that are fully based from their heart center. In fact, it's actually really deathly for these angelic beings just to come to earth right now and say, hey, we're actually here because our vibrational frequency as a collective isn't at a high enough frequency for us to be acceptive, that they're just here and actually totally cool and have so much wisdom to share with us. And they are our brothers and sisters, as well as they want to develop and design with us. And this will happen. We're coming into that. But right now it's time as a unit for us to remember that we are these superhuman beings, and that there is a matrix in this creation, an agenda being played on humanity. And we decide right now what we want. We're like the scale, and we get to choose what balance that feels right to us, that sounds right to us. And I suggest asking yourself when something comes forward, if something is being presented to you, does this feel good? Or is this a feeling of worry, chaos, destruction? And follow that balanced scale, and follow the scale of this feels good, this feels right, this could maybe expand me and move forward, and so forth.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the greatest teachings that we can really embody and choose right now is to get in touch with our own feelings and how something makes us feel. And if it's a contraction in your body, if you're like, then it's not true. It's false, because what the truth makes us feel expanded and makes our heart open and makes us feel that love, because that is truth.
The truth will set you free.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
oh, go on.
You could share, Sue. No, me.
I was just gonna say, in regards to this topic that we're on and where we're going, aside from these false alien agenda and all that, there's an exciting tipping point that we are coming to as humanity, as we become an intergalactic race, as we've always meant to be. There's been extraterrestrials that have had a presence here on Earth throughout all of our history and lineage. You can watch shows like Ancient Aliens, Ancient Extraterrestrials, or all sorts of other content that's been brought out that has uncovered the interactions and involvement of different star beings throughout our history. Some were called gods, but really many were advanced beings that came from other star systems that come and help humanity along our journey. And now we're approaching this time of basically entering into a time of Star Trek, Star Wars, where we are going to be an interplanetary species where races will freely be existing here on Earth, or we will be freely traversing the star systems and exploring all across the galaxies, because those advanced technologies that exist to be able to do so already exist and have existed for a very long time. Not these archaic rockets that we're still getting shown by NASA as, oh, this is the most, no, this is not the most thing. That's like archaic stuff that's not going to jump you through portals to other star dimensions across the galaxy. But those spaceships, space yachts, very large crafts have existed for a very long time. We're connected to certain different secret space program individuals that have shared with us that, I mean, even for the last, 30 plus years, they've had craft that are at like the size of like 10 football fields, where they're able to take thousands and thousands and thousands of people traveling through the stars, our own governments and secret space programs. Now you got the Space Force that Donald Trump opened up before, I forget when, but there's a lot of stuff happening through the Secret Space Force right now. There is treaties taking place finally with lots of good star races, because there's been these treaties that have been going on with not good star races and different reptilian races and grays and all these beings that our governments have been working with for a very long time. You got Area 51, you got all sorts of other bases. But there was even this one Canadian prime minister. I've seen a few of the content he's put out, where he was even talking about that Canada and the Canadian government for a very long time was working with at least 10 different star races of beings. So this is no secret. And I mean, it has been kept a secret from us, and we've been shown this little micro piece of that story in mainstream media, but we're now reaching a point where those secrets are finally going to come out. People are going to start realizing that the movies like Men in Black, where there's literal government agencies that handle the inflow and outflow of extraterrestrials on our planet, and there's alien beings that have cloaking technology to make them look like a human, but really they look like something completely else. And all these things are here, they've existed, and the truths are finally coming out, and we are going to step into this true first contact, full contact situation very soon. I feel in the next few years, probably, we will experience this full contact, but it's not going to take place until humanity's ready and not in a state of fear, which the mainstream media and Hollywood has been trying to put people into a state of fear. Oh my gosh, extraterrestrials, right? Versus, yay, I can't wait to meet them. Our star family, they want to help us. We want to work with them. We want to connect the dots.
Yeah.
Right. Well, full contact is here already.
Yeah.
And what's important is for individuals to get on a level to where they can actually interact with these beings. Because yes, they are here, and the technology, the communication, all of it is already available for us. But yeah, we have to tune our own individual frequency to be able to communicate with them. Like for me, I've been going out and just communicating, and also just communicating in my own meditation and visualization practices. And I've been working with a collective from the Andromeda galaxy. And so these beings have came to me and told me that they would like to appear to me in the physical and come in the physical. Now I've seen ships and things, but as far as seeing them like to manifest fully in the physical, for one, it is really dangerous for them to be able to come here fully, because yeah, they are being monitored by secret space programs and the military. So they have to be really careful and sensitive to how they go about that. But also the main message that I was receiving was my nervous system actually needs to be totally relaxed and neutral for one of them to be able to present itself fully to me. And that's something that we all have to do, is train our nervous system, because we have been so ingrained fear through our media, through movies that we watch, to get spooked, to get, and I realized that it was actually, I'm so programmed to fear other people. It's not that I'm so much afraid of an ET, but I'm afraid of someone lurking in the shadows, maybe coming to creep up on me, right, and attack me, because I am so programmed by that. And it was brought to my awareness when I was talking to this being, because she wanted me to see where my nervous system still wasn't fully relaxed. She was like, oh, we're going to kind of show you something in the shadows and just see where your body tenses up and where you're holding energy. So it's our training on a personal individual basis to learn how to relax your nervous system and really be at ease and expect the best, not the worst. So you can be more excited and more love state, but also neutral, because there's going to be an interaction. If we're too, jumpy, or there's not going to be a match. So tuning our frequency to be energetic matches for this information. And I just suggest training people to utilize their consciousness to astral travel and to go and communicate with these beings and become the galactic ambassador, the galactic guardian that you know yourself to be. If you're watching this, if you're tuning into this, it's because you are on some level aware of this as truth, and doing the work, doing what is necessary to get your frequency on their level is going to totally blow our minds and shift our reality in such epic ways, and help us actually be living in the fifth dimension, where we just transcend all this nonsense out of the third dimension.
Yeah, that's totally true. I was on a podcast call with Sam the Illusionist this morning, and he told me he's going to try to go in and channel a specific galactic being with me on the phone, but he's not sure if it's going to work out, because the phone has a specific connection where other entities can go into the phone and go into the fields of being into his open channel. And he said, what you need to do is relax as much as you can and remove your consciousness and just be a vibrational frequency of love. And so he did go into a moment of the channeling, his voice changed and everything. And the entity said that they couldn't move forward because there was a distraction in the cord. And I did notice that there was a distraction in the cord, and it was an inner voice of my inner being saying, like, help, something just wacko, just like trying to hold me back. And I'm like, come on, I've done so much work to get here. Like, why do you got to say that one little word right now? And so my practice now is like, nope, I couldn't get there. And I have to go into a deeper state of meditation or hypnosis to be just a vibrational frequency of love rather than thought. So that definitely taps into what you're just saying, Luna, in our practices.
Yeah. And it's never ending, maintaining your practice and maintaining your frequency. And because, you know, you might think you're already at a level of consciousness where you're like, I'm in it, I'm so divine, I got it, I got this. And then it's like, no, there's still more growth to do. And that's okay. That's great. But we're, you know, it's exciting because every day is a new opportunity to really step into that divinity. And ultimately, that's what we're all here to do, is remember like that we are divine beings. There's nothing to fear. We are the masters. We are the creators of our reality. And the more we can actually believe that and actually resonate with that and tune into that higher self, that ninth dimensional self, and really like embody that here, that's where, you know, I've actually seen a version of myself from a future timeline. She came to me when I was living at the castle for the first time. And she came to me in the kitchen, and it was like, she was like a holographic being. She was almost like an AI, it felt like, but she was like 12 years old eternally. And she came to me and she said, I'm you from the future. And she was like, you're going to be able to upload your consciousness into this database where you can exist in whatever avatar you want, and you'll be able to manifest your reality instantly, and it will change with the snap of your fingers to whatever you want instantaneously. No lag time, no nothing, because you'll have no traumas to work through. You'll have no messed up belief systems to work through. You'll already be in that state of just being able to visualize and change your reality with the wave of the wand. And so that's where I know that I'm going, and I know that as a collective we can be in that type of reality, but we have to let go of all attachment in order to do that.
So when you just mentioned that, my whole ear went and I started getting a strong ringing. My studies on that is it's either an upload or a download of new information, or your consciousness is trying to speak to you, or other beings, whoever's a part of your council or your guardians, are trying to share something with you. Observe and listen. So I do that. That's a cool tool for all of you. If you guys are getting that ringing in your ear, open up to that. Okay, maybe this is something new, groovy coming to me, and advance to the next level, rock and roll. Open up to that, observe, listen. And with Luna's message right there, it had me think of the Neuralink that's out now, that Elon has put out now. And this is a very different type of play, friends, than what Luna's saying, where her soul has evolved and is able to take these steps without constraints or being controlled or manipulated. Now there's a new Neuralink that is going to be presented. It's already being presented to humanity, excuse me, though people will have the chance to put it in their body. Wild, we understand. And though people could be really excited about this. I mean, when I first heard about this, I was excited about it. I was like, oh, heck yeah, we really get superpowers now. Freaking yeah. And then I learned more and more. And what I learned was those neural links could be controlled by an agenda that is not here to serve humanity and elevate their soul, but to serve humanity in control. And that's what we want to also observe and be careful of. And that's why we also don't want to keep putting injections in our body, because it's changing our actual source code. It's actually changing you as a human. And there's much study on, if you change your source code as a human, then you're giving permission to these systems to run their controls on you, which means at any time in day, something could just shift and they could start controlling you, ideally through different computer systems and so forth, through their own technology, advanced technology that is available and vastly running. And so, and you definitely are the source of creation. You have the superpowers to emerge, to what Luna was just saying, and be aware, because you don't want to entrap yourself, because if you keep entrapping yourself, you're stuck at a lower level. That's a whole nother large topic that we can chat about, but you don't want to get to that point where you've trapped yourself even more than we've already slightly kind of been trapped on Earth and been told all of these false lies to entrap us and entrap time on us. But we're evolving out of this, and time is also fading away. Things are coming fairly rapidly. So we're preparing you that there's all of these things that are going to be presented to you. It's definitely going to happen. We can see the future.
We're from the future.
Just prepared.
And I think those are all some really, really great points that were just made by both of you ladies in regards to Neuralink. That as well as other technologies like that will come out are part of this inorganic false ascension timeline potential, where it leads us into a dystopian techno society where we essentially lose ourselves and our souls more and more to technology, becoming cyber humanism. And it is not the path of organic ascension, where we have the ability to raise our consciousness, to tap into the unified field, to expand our super consciousness, to literally have the ability to do what Elon, and I've heard him talk about in regards to artificial intelligence and how are humans going to keep up with AI. Then that's part of like his reasoning for Neuralink is so humans can keep up with technology. But that really is just this path that'll lead to losing ourselves more and more to technology, versus when we raise our consciousness and raise our vibration to higher and higher levels, we start unlocking these superhuman abilities. We start being able to literally manifest anything instantaneously, like your future self came and told you. This is something that's possible, but we also do not want to get there if we're still dealing with wonky thoughts and fears and all that, because if you can instantaneously manifest something into existence and you have not done the work to release all those fears and all those false programs, imagine what people would manifest instantaneously into their lives. Not good stuff, right? So
also, fam, one thing that we can really do is send love to all of these really magical, powerful creators that are building such thing as like Elon is doing and the Neuralink, because everyone could always use more love, more light, more guardians, more protection. Because when you get to that level of being, you could be bombarded on all sorts of different frequencies. There could be good beings trying to come and merge with you, and lower agenda dark beings trying to merge with you. And if you're in that higher level of building, then there could very much so be people like the dark agenda telling you, hey, you can only do this if you're with us. And so we want to project out as a unit right now that these really cool creators are our friends, and that they do have galactic brothers and sisters, and that they do have family of love and light that are here to show and help create a whole new earth of magnificence. And a lot of us are filled with all of these next plans, next projects to build for humanity. And we definitely are here to link with these other wise creators, but we are stern in linking with love, with light, for the highest good of humanity and for Earth. And sometimes we really need that type of support that is just like, got you, buddy.
Yeah, so maybe we can all just like close our eyes and take a deep breath together and just send love from the heart, just wrapping the whole planet, the whole earth with waves of love. And anyone like Elon Musk or anyone in power, Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg, these type of people that do have this power over society through technology. We're just sending them love, forgiveness, compassion, and assistance to see truth and share truth.
Sending them nourishments, golden light around their spirit, their soul, the energy, because they hold a vast amount of intelligence. We're grateful for your intelligence. You're freaking awesome.
Yes, thank you for helping humanity. Thank you for serving humanity.
And just bring that in. Tighten your body. Be a strong pillar of light, golden light, angelic light coming from the ethers down into the body and into the earths of Gaia, grabbing the core of Gaia and just melting in, bringing in magical, colorful colors into your being now, and just melt. Simple as that. Thank you.
Thank you. We love you all.
Mm.
Can't wait for you to be on the squad with us. Woo! We're gonna make so much amazing things for humanity and the galaxies.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, a lot of us, or even all of us, came here at this specific time to step into this creation.
Yeah. And ascend into the light.
And so it is.
So it is.
It is done.
Exactly. That's why we can't manifest instantly right now, because if it's not coming from a truly empowered by source space, then it's not going to manifest, thankfully. We have to really trust that things are working out in our best interest, and we have to fully reclaim our power and stop giving our power away to anything outside of ourselves, like Neuralink or technology. Our true technology is within us. We hold crystals inside of our being that have the source codes, like Meg's saying. And don't be afraid if you have these injections and you're here now like, what do I do? Because you can still reclaim your power, and you can still download the cosmic source DNA and choose to be locked into that, and choose to upgrade that, and choose to work with these higher dimensional beings to get yourself into that space of consciousness.
So that's great, because we're here to support all of humanity, and everyone had their own choice to make their decision, and there was a lot of stuff presented to us. And so how can we reclaim? Say I did get that. I did not. Thank you very much. Though, how could I reclaim and make sure that my body is crystalline? That, like, if so, this could change my codes. Then, what techniques, what keys could I use? I know I could use decrees by Sandra Walter. I think that's her name. I have a decree book right here. And you basically speak out decrees, and you command your cells back. And I do this on a daily basis. Can we share with the family any other techniques, my friends?
I mean, yeah, decrees powerful. Ways to detox the body from certain injections and things is very powerful too. Things like zeolite, things like what is it? Using a certain form of pine extract is very detoxing. There's a few different ways where you can pull out toxins, heavy metals. There's ways to pull out nanotechnology out of the body as well, which is what is put into some of these injections, is very advanced nanotechnologies.
Okay, and what, can you be more specific? We want to give them direct keys. You're saying there's ways, but can we go a little deeper?
Zeolite's one very powerful way.
How do you spell that?
zeolite, Zeolite. It's a volcanic ash that has I believe it's a reverse polarity where it's almost like a magnet to attract to the molecules of zeolite, toxins, heavy metals, and inorganic things out of the body.
Okay. Luna, do you have any keys that can help?
Yeah, one of the keys that I've worked with personally is Combo, which is a frog from South America that you use the secretion off the body and put it directly into the skin. You'll burn the skin and put it directly onto the skin, and it helps go in and actually remove and detox the body completely. But also the thing with this medicine is, by the way, if you're going to work with this medicine, please find someone that really knows what they're doing. Like, that's really important. Go to South America if you can do this, because that's the preferred method. But basically, also energetically, you could also just work with this being called Combo, who will actually go and negotiate these soul contracts, because on some level, you decided to sign this contract that said, I'm allowing you and giving you permission to put this thing in my body, because you allowed it, you let it happen. So you need to take responsibility for that in the first place. That was you choosing to give your power to something outside of you. And so you work with this being called Combo to negotiate these contracts for you and with you on behalf of your entire lineage, to reclaim your power and bring these codes of nature, of life source energy, the organic codes, back into your being. And you have to work deliberately on this. Working with the medicine once is good, but then working on this every single day in your meditation by calling source energy back into your body and discovering where there might be any holes in your aura from where something might have jabbed you, or where you allowed something to take your power, calling just source energy back into your being, back into your heart, and pushing that light out. Ultimately, it's remembering who you are and taking responsibility for every choice you made in your life. Now, for me, this is a little interesting because I think of when I was a child, and, my mother allowed me to get vaccines because she didn't know any better. So I had some vaccines when I was a child, and I don't know what was in those things. But do I feel like any of that is blocking me from being my full expression? Is it really hurting my soul? No, because I'm not attached to this physical reality. This reality is a dream. It's a conceptual dream. And we have to realize that, remember that the only truth, our soul is eternal, no matter what. And so reclaiming that power over all of these contracts, burning them up, whatever you resonate with, really going in to do the soul work on the Akashic level, finding somebody that you feel safe and comfortable with that can help guide you into these timelines to really reclaim your power, I think ultimately will help you on the astral level. And then doing any type of physical detox, of course, is going to help bring you more mental clarity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and good thing we've got like YouTube, because you can study on how to do all this stuff, how to detox the body truly, how to get into my Akashic records truly, how to question mark, how to question mark. So use the tools, the technology that we have now to grab wisdom. Study all the time, study daily, keep expanding. Let's take a collective breath. Let's just take note of everything we've said already and just go into our database and see if there's anything else that's important to chat about in this podcast.
Something I would like to say is in regards to our first part of this episode, talking about extraterrestrials and society here is how important it is for us to get into this oneness mindset, not just we are one with humanity, but we are one with the galaxies. Because there's still so much division on the planet and all these initiatives try and divide people, even just between our one race, right, of the human race. So,
which is a big trick, right?
Yeah, and if we can't, that's what I try to bring up to people in those situations. I'm like, hey, if we can't get past the color of our own skin when we're the same race of being, how are we ever going to exist with all these other beings that look all these other different ways? Of course, many extraterrestrials look humanoid, but then there's other extraterrestrials that look all sorts of variety, just as much variety as we have of life on Earth. There is that much variety throughout the galaxies. So I think getting to that true unity, oneness mindset is a very powerful thing, just in many ways, whether it's in that kind of circumstance or even just really doing a practice each day to try and feel the feeling of being connected to the whole of all creation, of all the layers of dimensions of Earth, of all the star systems, of all of the animals and plants and nature and all of it. Just getting into that feeling where you're dropping away from the oneness, the singularness to the wholeness, because it's all interconnected.
100.
So closing out, we would like to also say as a unit, the importance of joining together with a couple of other individuals, or it could be a larger group of individuals, and starting to go into different ceremonies together. That could be indulging in different plant medicines together to activate yourself and go through different levels of being. That could be going into different guided meditations and visualizing your greatest visions of who you've come here to be and what you are really excited to see happen on Earth evolve. Right now, we as a unit are being shown that it's really important for us to start joining together with a group of other individuals and utilize our creative minds together, maybe even doing like drawing boards, vision boards, and creating fun out of this, really expanding your inner child. How can I set up a gathering? How can I set up a game night with my friends that expand my creativity? Because we are being shown, oh, hey, by the way, friends, you actually have been creating all of these timelines. So, hey, by the way, friends, you actually get to create these next timelines, and we really need your help right now. And that's like a really strong, like, we really wish for your help right now. And so when we understand that we're being called to help, and if we can just simply just come together and create and make fun in creating, then we, using our minds together and our visualizations together and our excitement together, we're creating these ultimate timelines and just shifting the planet quickly so that these lower timelines get dismantled even more quicker. And we create this solar flash. And when we create this solar flash that's coming forward fairly soon, it instantly connects to everything living. And then it puts a new, higher level of vibrational frequency in you so that you can evolve to be the fun, cool creator that you are. So that is a goal as a unit, all of us, for us to start doing this together. I do know on 11/11, everyone just create a fun day for yourself and go into fun visualizations, fun drawings, fun inner child excitement. Laugh your butt off. And I know on that day we'll definitely rise to another level of consciousness, but together we can start doing this on an everyday basis, bringing this awareness to each other. Like, hey, actually, this is as easy as it could possibly get. This is all you really have to do. And we just need a certain amount of individuals to be doing this at the same time to start lifting the veil and raising our consciousness. So the key is the tools are not hard. Creation made it fun and easy. Just this lower agenda, entrapped agenda programmed us and programmed society as a whole, an energetic of things needing to be hard and complicated. So I just want to remind you that it's actually easy techniques, easy tools. You just got to be happy, enjoy, have fun, and so forth.
And use the
That's
tool.
Golden keys. Well, that's all I have to say, fam. What about y'all?
I agree. 1111, yeah, is a powerful manifestation energy. Why? We have 4 ones. The 4 ones represent the 4 elements, with the 5th element being the ether, the spaces that is between the ones. So 1111, something I'm doing every day is visiting the Akashic records. If you don't know how to do that, come learn. You can contact me directly and I'd love to share with you more. But also tuning into the elements, earth, fire, air, water at that time of 1111, and embracing those within your being. And from that point, allowing your consciousness to be set free to visualize that reality where we're all coexisting, where we're all playing, like Meg said, and co-creating a magical world that we all want to be thriving in. This is our power, and this is what we came here to do. This is what we get to do together. So excited and grateful to co-create with you all.
Thank you, Luna. Beautiful having you on this episode. Until next time, blessings, everyone.
Thank you.
Ciao.